Oh look, surprise, surprise, Emily's got a scrunchie in again. I promise I don't wear them every single day. It just seems to be that when I film, I wear them. I feel like this is becoming a real issue. Maybe I should take it out. No, because my hair isn't done. Also, I really need a haircut. I can't even see it in the whole shot. Comment down below if I should chop it. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm doing another Q&A video, but this has been a very long overdue one. So I posted on Instagram around literally a month ago now saying, you know, I'm going to film another one of these videos if you want to send in your questions, and then time just passed. Things got crazy. It's been very busy with the whole festive season. Finally had a little bit of time to sit down and answer some of your questions. I'll try and answer as many as I can. So the first one is on Instagram from Juliet, and she said, did the DCP help boost your CV? Did employers ask about it during job interviews? Yes. Everything I have done since I did my first cultural exchange program, it's always been brought up by the person because it's very different. It stands out a lot. Obviously any internship or work experience placement is going to look good for experience, but not many people get to work for Disney, and especially in the UK there's only around 200 people a year who get picked for this program, so that makes it even more special. So yeah, it definitely stands out. They always want to know about what I did there and how I found it, because everyone has some kind of emotional connection to Disney, whether they grew up loving the films or going to the parks or anything. Like, everyone knows that brand. It's a huge company, so yeah, people always ask about it. Grace asked, in your program could you apply for a part-time or full-time job after the program ended? No, I had a visa which was a set end date, and I had until the end of my program and then 30 days after that to travel, and then I had to go home. So no, I couldn't. I don't know if I would have anyway, just because I loved my little CP bubble. I don't know how I would have found actually living in Orlando, like outside of the whole Disney housing situation. However, I do know for the regular DCP you can apply for seasonal, part-time, full-time when you're on your program around 6 weeks before the end. I do know a bunch of people who did stay on and do that afterwards. Kevin asked, would you go back for another year if they let you? I mean, right now, if I could go back to work at Disney again, I'd say yes in a heartbeat, just because I miss it so much. But I don't know about a whole year. I was thinking about this the other day, and where I was this time last year, so much has happened since then in just my personal life, as well as just my family and friends, and that's also who I would have missed if I'd been there for the whole time. I already missed quite a lot being away just for the 3 months in the summer, 2 years in a row. I miss babies being born, I miss weddings. Like, I don't know, a year is a big commitment, but never say never. There are a couple of similar questions now. One said, do you know how the process works for Mexico? Another said, can you do the ICP no matter where you're from? I would just direct you to the Disney program's website, and they have a full list of all the countries that can apply and participate in the different programs. Anna said, what's the best piece of advice you'd give an ICP student? I think for me, just join the Facebook groups before you fly out and start meeting people, so that way you have people to fly out there with, because you're literally flying across the world, or at least to a different country, and that can be pretty intimidating for a lot of people. So it's nice even just to have someone you know sitting next to you on the plane. You want to have people from your home country who you can like connect with and talk about maybe the things that are different or surprise you, and it's good to have that base right from the start. I would also say, just generally my advice for anyone doing any college program is just go to the parks. You have free admission, like come on, that is incredible. It costs like $150 a day to go to Disney World, and you can get them for free. Just go whenever you can, before work, after work, when you're tired, when you're feeling lonely, when you're sad, when it's raining, when it's too hot. Like, just go. I can't stress this enough, because you're never going to regret it, I don't think. You get to just go hang out. You don't have to spend any money. You probably will, or at least I did, because food. But you don't have to spend any money. You can just go hang out at Disney World, and it's like being a kid again. You can just go to the park, except it's a Disney World park. Like, how incredible is that? I just miss it a lot, and the thought of people being there right now and not going to the parks because they want to get an extra hour in bed is just no to me. Phil said, any advice on filming or editing park vlogs? I don't know, because my vlogs generally I don't think are that good, if I'm honest. I feel like my channel has grown because of doing sit down videos, not vlogs. What I will say is have no shame, which comes with practice. At least Disney World is the best possible place to start vlogging, because so many people are doing it, and you're not going to get cast members looking at you weird for like holding a camera out in front of your face, because they see it all the time, every single day. So that is a big piece of advice. It's a great place to start out your vlogging, but I would also say try and do it with some friends and kind of talk to them about it beforehand that you want to vlog and check they're all comfortable with it. In terms of editing, just try and keep it snappy. I've been trying to like change up my editing style a little bit from my Disneyland Paris vlogs. I'm trying to cut out like the little unnecessary pauses or gaps or things that maybe aren't as interesting. But yeah, try and keep it snappy. And I know people like all different types of vlogs, but for me personally, I prefer the ones that are a bit more fast paced. That's just me, but there's gonna be a viewer out there for every vlog. So also try and not film in like the super direct sunlight, just because I feel like it's nicer when there's more like the shadows behind you, because Florida sun is intense, and when you have that right on your face you just get washed out. And for me personally, I don't even want that footage to go online because I think I look horrendous. Another thing I would say is hold the camera up higher than you think. You just don't want to have like below the chin shots. Again, for me personally, I don't like how it looks, and it's better when you get more in the shot. And yeah. Everyone has a different editing style though. Like I personally love some vlogs that have b-roll in and some that are more chatty, and I watch all types. So honestly, just mix it up and see how you go, and you'll be able to see over time with your editing how it changes and what you think works and what doesn't. And so really the best thing you can do is just start and see where you go. Lauren said, will you ever spill the tea on working at World of Disney? Oh, I've said in the past why I didn't really enjoy it. I haven't gone into specific like stories or experiences. I don't know, I try and keep it positive on here, and my biggest thing is I don't want to affect anyone's experience going into their program if they get placed at World of Disney. I don't want them to watch this and be like, oh, I saw someone online said that they didn't enjoy it and this happened, and this person wasn't very nice and this leader wasn't very good, because then they're going to go in with these prejudices. I'm supposed to be good with words. I do it for a living. But yeah, I know if I personally had seen that going in, that people didn't enjoy working where I was going to go into, I would have been like so nervous and scared, and I don't see the point in doing that. So I don't really want to spill the tea about that. I don't even like tea, fun fact. The only thing I really like to drink that's hot is hot chocolate. That's super surprising actually. The only hot drink I like is the most sugary one. Just know that I had a few bad experiences, but generally like it wasn't bad. The store was just going through a transition, so things were a bit crazy. Maybe it'll be better now it's opened up to its full size again. I don't know. Go into it with a fresh mind and see what happens. Rachel said, can you be a character performer on the CUP? Yes, you can. One of my friends, Jo, she was friends with Chip and Dale, which was very cool, and also friends with King Louie. And there's also like other people I know who've been friends with Buzz and Eeyore and all kinds of characters, so yes, you can. I know for the American DCP they go to a separate character audition, but at least for my program from the UK you just have to say you're interested, and there's no like formal audition, which I don't think they're supposed to say that, but like anyway, that's how it works. Ellie said, is it possible to do the program on a budget? What is the cheapest accommodation? Yes, you can do it on a budget. You just have to be strict with yourself. Meal prep beforehand, try not to get too much stuff at the parks. A lot of the merchandise that you get you don't need, it's just because you get like flung off and everything. There's always ways to pick up extra hours if you want more money, and yeah, it's definitely possible. You just have to go in with that mindset and be quite determined to stick to it. It is a once in a lifetime opportunity though, so I would try and make the most of it and don't have too strict a budget, because then you probably regret not doing things that you wanted to do. In terms of housing, Vistaway I believe is the cheapest one right now, but it also depends on how many people are in your apartment. So the more people who are living there, the cheaper your rent is going to be. So you can kind of stay in any of them and have a decent housing fee. You can stay in any of them and have like a decent rent, so it just depends on how many people you want to stay with, and you just list that preference when you apply, but there is no guarantee that you're going to get the one you want. Olivia says, was it easy to adjust to the heat and long work weeks, and also what are 3 things you suggest a CEP should do? So the first one about adjusting to the heat, I think for us, we kind of made a joke of it. We kept going to the parks and we were like, this is just us practicing and acclimatizing to the heat and just getting used to it. So I would say, yeah, go to the parks and just try and experience them as a guest. You're going to gradually build up your tolerance that way for the heat, but also a lot of the positions are inside, which is a plus. And also at the end of the day, you don't really have a choice. So when you're stuck out there, you just have to cope with it. Kind of sucks, but there's also always going to be leaders walking around with other cast members. So if you get really, really hot, you can call and be like, I need to take a break, or maybe get another fill up of your water bottle. So they are very accommodating. In terms of the long weeks, again, you don't really have a choice. You get given the hours you get given. I know people do get pretty burnt out and end up like calling out, stuff like that. I think it's just very personal for each individual how you handle it. You don't know how you're going to cope until you're actually there. I never imagined I'd be working working 55-hour work weeks, because now I do like 38 or something and I'm tired, and that's sitting at a desk. So I honestly don't know how you do it, but you just get swept up in the whole thing, and everyone else is doing it around you probably, at least in your area. If you're getting tons of hours, everyone else probably is as well, so you're kind of like all in this together. So yeah, you just play off your fellow cast members and just try and keep up with the vibe of the parks and the magic and have it keep you going. I would also suggest having a lot of carbs for your meals, like pasta, bread, just to keep you going. She also said what are 3 things you'd suggest a CEP should do. I'm actually planning to do a video on a bucket list for that very soon, so watch out for that. Bethany said, what sort of job do you have now and how is living in London? So I actually still live in Essex, which is just outside of London, and I commute for around an hour and a half each day by train to my job, which is by London Bridge. And I work at an ad agency and I'm a copywriter, which basically means I write words for different companies to use in their advertising or content marketing and stuff like that. It was definitely an adjustment to go from standing around all day and being on my feet and engaging with guests to having a role that was sitting down at a desk, typing away, pretty quiet. Yeah, it's been an adjustment for sure, but I am enjoying it, and I'm also thankful that I was able to get a job this soon, because at least in the UK it's very hard for graduates to get a job. I started interning here, and then after 2 months I got offered the job full time, and that's where I am. I do eventually want to move to London though. I think that'd be really awesome. Danielle asked, what's one place in Disney World you've never worked but would love to? Frontierland! I never got to work there, and the costume is so pretty. It's a cute little blue costume and I just think it's adorable, and the shift just never came up on the shift exchange pages, so that was sad. But other than that, I'd love to work in a water park just because different experience, but generally I feel like I covered everything I wanted to cover, so I'm pretty good. I did work in tons of places. I will link to that video down below talking about everywhere I worked in Disney World. It was pretty extensive, at least in the parks. Katie said, how did you cope with being away from home? Honestly, I didn't really miss it, which sounds really bad. I do love my family, but I was so busy all the time I didn't really have the time to miss them, and I was just enjoying it so much. They also came out to visit me right in the middle for a few weeks, so that was really lovely to see them then, which probably helped. But I think for me the most important thing is just to throw yourself into it, just get involved and be busy, because that way you're not going to think about home. So if you're in Magic Kingdom riding the Haunted Mansion, you're not going to be like, oh, I wish I was back home where it's raining and I have nothing to do with my life. So yeah, that's probably my biggest tip. And also bring your favourite snacks from home, whether that is tea bags or chocolate or candy. Just bring those, so then when you're feeling really down you can get a little boost, a little taste of home, because they sell them in the UK Pavilion in Epcot, but they're like 10 times the price of what you would expect. Laura said, would you want to work for Disney again in the future? Yes, I would, of course. I would love to work for Disney in the Hammersmith office in London, ideally in social media and marketing. That is the eventual plan, but I don't know what's going to happen with my life. I'm just living it the way it is. If anyone is watching from Disney, hit me up. Fiona asked, also known as Fee, who I will be going back to Disney World with next August. Hey gal. She said, if you could eat at only one Disney restaurant for your whole DCP, which one would it be? That is a real struggle. Have I got to be practical with this? Am I going to think about like a balanced diet? Because I'm obsessed with Crystal Palace for breakfast because the options are incredible. That is huge, but it's very sweet. There's not very good like savoury vegetarian option. Obviously I love Woody's grilled cheese, but I can't just eat there the whole time because bread and cheese isn't very balanced. You do get that orange though with the kids meal. I think Satuli Canteen's a pretty good one actually, just because they have those incredible bowls and that's pretty balanced. You get like salad, tofu, quinoa. Oh no, I would say Garden Grill, because their breakfast is like a whole platter with waffles and veggie sausage patties and tater tots, and you get that amazing cinnamon roll skillet. That would be amazing. And you also get fruit. But then their lunch has like a veggie meatloaf and mac and cheese, fries, veggies. I think that was my best shot because it's pretty balanced, and also Epcot is awesome. So I would probably say that, or this is gonna go on forever, or I would say Sunshine Seasons just below the Garden Grill restaurant, because they have amazing veggie options and desserts as well. Maybe I'll just say the land area of Epcot. Maybe that's cheating, but sorry Fee. Alice said, will you do another program? Again, I don't know, not right now, it's not on my radar. I get this question a lot, which is probably why I seem a little bit about it. I really would love to, but at the same time I don't really see it factoring in as part of like my future career. I don't know, I miss it a lot. Let's see. I just want to go back to Disney for a vacation for now, which I am doing next August. So, and speaking of Alice's, Brenda asked, will Alice be vlogging her experience as well? So my sister Alice, at Girl in Wonderland on Instagram, she is doing the cultural exchange program next summer. So I will get to see her working in Disney World when I go to visit, and yes, she will be vlogging. So that's very exciting. I will post her channel down below so you can all subscribe to her. Karina said, what is the best and worst thing about the DCP? Honestly, best thing, the people you meet, they're amazing. Worst thing, having to leave the people you meet. They're amazing. Like, I love my Disney friends so much. We get close in such a short space of time. I talk to them literally every day from both programs, and not being able to see them every day is so hard. That's what I really miss, because the people make the place. It doesn't matter where you are. If you're not with people you like, then you're not going to enjoy it. And I really lucked out. I love them so much. So yeah, best and worst thing is that they were all so awesome. Laura said, everyone speaks about how much they love their DCP, going to the parks whenever they wanted and hanging out with their friends. But what was the reality of the actual work? The shifts seem really long and often at weird hours, but they also rotate you through different roles, which would make it go faster. Is the DCP good in spite of having to work, or does the work contribute to the happiness? I think this is very important to say. The DCP is a job. That's what you've got. It's an internship. Everything you have is a benefit, which is awesome, but you are there to work. So if you don't want to do that, save up and go to Disney for a vacation. Like, there is no point in taking the place of someone who really does want to work for the company. 100% the work does sometimes get tough, but also it's amazing and I love it, and getting to walk on stage every day and smile and make guests happy, I love that so much, because that's one of the things I love the most, making other people happy and smiley and making their day. And it's just, I felt like I could thrive there because my personality really fit in. I could be like my truest self and just be excited about things and talk about Disney all the time, and I loved it. So work definitely contributed to the happiness. Yes, the hours could be weird, and yes, it could be tiring and long, but every day there was something that I came away with from the shift and I was like, that was really lovely, that was a great interaction, that was a magical moment. So London Explorer 101 said, if you could live at the showcase, which country would you choose? That's a really cool question. Honestly, I love the UK Pavilion, but that seems like such a boring answer because I live in the UK, but the UK Pavilion isn't exactly accurate. So it would be awesome to live there because the food is great, the shops are great, you can meet Mary Poppins and Alice in Wonderland. But if I had to pick another one, maybe France, because again, really good food and entertainment, and I just love the vibe. It looks so pretty and chill, and so yeah, that's a really cool question. Thank you for asking that one. She also asked, would you consider working on a collaboration with other Disney vloggers? 100%, but I live in England and I don't think many of them really know who I am. So I look up to so many Disney vloggers like Chase Russell, Emily Enchanted, Janie Schlee, Sarah Beth, Tea Party, Erica, my friend Brooke from World of Disney. Like, there are so many awesome people, but the fact that I live in England kind of means I can't do any collaborations like that even if I wanted to, but they're all awesome. I love their channel, so I would never rule it out, but I just don't see how it could happen, sadly. Also, I don't think my channel is really big enough to be worthy of a collab with them because their channels are huge. So final question is going to come from Natasha. When you were younger, what did you want to be, and do you think you have already / still want to achieve it? So when I was younger, I really wanted to be a writer. From the age of 6, I was filling notebooks with stories I was writing, and I always wanted to write books. That was the thing that I did. That was my, Emily is going to be a writer. She's going to have a book in store. That is the thing that she's going to do. Obviously that has kind of changed and progressed over time. I'd love to be in social media now, and social media wasn't even a thing when I was 6. So it's definitely progressed. Something I'd also say I really wanted to do when I was younger was just be more confident. I was so shy when I was young. When I was 4 or 5, my mum got called into school and they told my mum that I was rude because I didn't speak to them when I was spoken to. It's because I was so shy, I didn't even want to answer the teacher's question. I barely even spoke to like my family because I was so shy. It probably seems weird now because I speak to YouTube on this camera, so I think that's a pretty big achievement, that I just wanted to be confident in myself. I'm still not 100% there, but I'm definitely on my way to accepting myself and who I am. So I think that's a pretty big achievement to say that at 22 I am almost there. I'm still like progressing and changing, and I'm always going to do that, but that's a pretty cool thing to have achieved by this age. Even when I was like a teenager, I didn't really like myself at all. I just was very negative and judgmental with other people because I had this inner like insecurity about myself. So the fact that I've like changed from that to be someone who is very happy and I love everyone around me and I love supporting them, I think that's a pretty good glow up. That was so cringe. No, I'm not even gonna put that in. That is all the questions that I have for now. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it's not too long. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it or found it helpful. If you have any other questions, feel free to comment them down below. My Instagram inbox is always open. I may take a little bit to reply, but I will always come back to it eventually. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit subscribe if you would like to see more videos. I am going back to Disney World next August, so I'm going to have a bunch of planning videos coming up about like tips and suggestions and advice for people who are going on their Disney vacation, so stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video and have a magical day. Bye!
When you're fast asleep,